Now here it is the question number 2. Give definition for the following terms. Are there other terms that need to be defined first? Why are they and might be defined? So you need to give the definition of these and you need to find that which are the terms which need to be defined first. So here I have defined each and every. First one, parallel lines. So two distinct lines in a plane are called parallel lines if they do not have a common point. So here students, if two lines are there, suppose that here I am going to draw a line and here. So these are called parallel if they doesn't having a common point. Here you can find these two lines, they are not having a common point. If I am going to draw the lines like that, here you can find that these two are the lines which are having one common point here, that is the common point. So these two are not the parallel line. So two lines will be parallel if they doesn't having the common point. So that will be the parallel line. So here it is the definition. Two distinct lines in a plane are called parallel lines if they do not have a common point. So what is the term which are not defined here? Here line and plane. Here I had used the word line and plane. Here plane and line are used here, which are not defined. So in the question it is asked that what are there other terms that need to be defined first? What are they and might you need to define them? So here I had indicated that what are the undefined terms, that are line and plane. So students, I had given the definition of line and plane in my previous video. So from there you can define that what is the line and plane. Now second, perpendicular line. So two lines are perpendicular to each other if they intersect each other at a right angle. Suppose that if two lines like this are intersecting each other at right angle, it means here this angle is 90 degree, then these two lines are called perpendicular to each other. So that is the definition. Two lines are perpendicular to each other if they intersect each other at a right angle. Here what are the undefined terms? So here undefined terms are line and right angle. So you can give the definition of line and right angle. Right angle, an angle of 90 degree, that is called the right angle. So here next one is the line segment. A part of line between 2 points on a line is called a line segment. So line segment is the part of a line. So what is the undefined term here? Here undefined term, again it is the line. Next, radius of a circle. So radius of a circle is the distance of a point on the circle from the center of the circle. So what is the undefined term here? Here undefined term is center of the circle. So suppose that if you are going to get, it is the suppose that center. So what is the radius? So radius of a circle is the distance of a point on the circle. If you are going to take a point on the circle and the distance of this point on the circle from the center, that is distance, that is called the radius. So that I had given in the definition. Now what is the undefined term here? So undefined term is center of the circle. So what is the center of the circle? You can give the definition that center of the circle is a point which is equidistant from each point on the circle. That will be the center of the circle. So you can write it again. I am going to repeat. Center of a circle is the point which is equidistant from each point on the circle. So that is the center of the circle. Now next one is square. A square is a quadrilateral having all sides of equal length and all angles of the same measure, that is 90 degree. It means a quadrilateral whose all the sides are equal and all the angles are equal, that is 90 degree each, then that is called the square. So here what is the undefined term? So here undefined terms are quadrilateral, side and angle. So students, these are the definition of the parallel lines, perpendicular lines, line segment, radius of a circle and square. Now students, here it is the question number 3rd. Consider these two postulates given below. So here two statements are given there that are the taken as postulates. First one, given any two distinct points A and B, there exists a third point C which is in between A and B. That is the first one, first postulate. And second, it is given that there exist at least 3 points that are not on the same line. So these two statements are written. Now it is asked that do these postulate contain any undefined term. So here you need to find that any undefined term is there. So students, here in these two statements you are going to get point. So here point definition is not given, so point is the undefined term. Now here line is used, line. So again in the second postulate line word is used which is not defined here. So here point and line are the undefined term. So here you can write it, yes these postulates, yes these postulates contain undefined terms, like line and point. You can write it, undefined terms, line and point. So these are the undefined term here in the given two postulate. Now in the question again it is asked that are these postulate consistent. So here I am going to explain that what is the means of consistent. So here if two or more than two statements are given there and both are going to indicate two different situations, so that are called the consistent. So here you can find in both, first it is given that given any two distinct points A and B, there exists a third point C. It means C will be the midpoint of AB. And here second statement is given there exist at least 3 points that are not on the same line. So that is going to indicate the two different situation. In the first you are going to get the concept of the midpoint, and in the second you are going to get that there will be the at least 3 points that should be non-collinear. So both are the two different situation. It means both the statements are consistent. So here you can write they are consistent, they are consistent, they are consistent because they deal with two different situations. So they are consistent, reason they are going to deal with two different situations. Now in the same question again it is asked that do they follow from Euclid's postulate. So students, you had written the 5 Euclid postulates, but you are not going to find any of the statements in those postulates. So here you can write these postulates do not follow from Euclid's postulate. So it is the complete solution of the question number 3rd.